intentional about application.
You've had a good bit of experience and just different opportunities for such a young guy. What is the most valuable lesson you've learned, or lessons you've learned so far in your ministry?
Oh, wow. That's a huge question,
Yes,
Blake.
it is.
All right, so the two words that come to mind are surrender and abide. So here's where my mind's going with that. When I think about where I am right now, by God's grace, as pastor of this church, this was not in the plan. Nothing. Since my first day on this campus, for example, at New Orleans Seminary, I couldn't have planned out one of those years that's happened in the last 13 years, and what the twists and turns that have come about. I mean, in so many different ways, family-wise, life-wise, ministry-wise. I couldn't have planned any of that. And so I look back and I think, all right. And this is what I encourage our folks to do in the church that I pastor, is one, surrender. Like, I want my life to be a blank check on the table before the Lord with no strings attached, saying wherever you want me to go, whatever you want me to do, whether that's live in New Orleans, whether that's live in Birmingham. And that was a really challenging process, praying through that, because this was not our desire when Heather and I first started thinking about this. No, it was the last thing we want to do. But we put the blank check on the table. Lord, what do you want us to do? And surrendering to Him, and with no strings attached, and then abiding in Him, walking with Him in prayer, in the Word, in obedience to His command, making disciples right wherever God has placed me, wherever God's placed anybody. And I'm just convinced, and there's a lot of confidence that I have in, not in myself, but in the grace of God here, that if I'm surrendered to Him and I'm abiding in Him, He's not going to let me go the wrong way. Like, He's going to lead me, He's going to guide me, He's going to direct me, He's going to protect me. What I mean by protection is not even physical protection, I mean spiritual protection. But He wants to be glorified in my life more than I want Him to be glorified in my life. And so if I'm surrendered to Him and abiding in Him, then He's going to lead and guide me. And so that's where I try to continually focus my life, focus our family, call our kids to, trust God and walk with God. And when those two realities are happening in our lives, I think we have a lot of confidence that by God's grace and His sovereign mercy, He will lead, guide us to the people, places, positions where we can most effectively make disciples of all nations, and do it all in a way that's for our good and ultimately for His glory.